My name is Calliope, and I'm going to be taking care of you today. So, you look a little wet here. Yeah, it's a pretty bad storm out, yeah? It's been pretty loud here, so it's just as loud outside as it is in here, just so you know. Okay? Yeah, thunderstorms are great. It's been a while since we've had one. So, let me roll up my sleeves and, if you wouldn't mind just telling me a little bit about what you want to do today. So, what's the occasion? Going out on a date? Wonderful. So, what is their name? Okay, and this is first, second, third, when are we? First date. Alright. Well, then I suppose we will have to make you look absolutely glorious today, won't we? Alright. Sounds great. So, before we begin, is there anything I can get for you? Anything to drink? Okay, just let me know if I can, alright? Great. So, of course, for making up your face, I will need to touch you for this. Is that okay with you? Awesome. So, okay. Do you mind if I just have a look at my base here? Okay? I'm gonna come in fairly closely and just take a look here. So your skin seems mostly even. There's just a little bit of pigmentation, but who doesn't have that, right? Okay. Thunder. So let's see. Alright, so we'll mostly just need to even you out, although, my darling, these eyebrows. Can I please tame them for you? Okay. Alright, so we'll get that all figured out. Now, for this date, what kind of mood are we going for? Are we looking for just a natural evening everything out? Are we looking for something bold and dramatic? Something in between? Glam? Okay. Alright, so we're just going to essentially just do a little bit of face tuning. Okay, we can do that. So, eyebrows. Let me see. Okay, so I've got a little spoolie here. And I'm going to take this spoolie and I'm just going to brush up your brows. Okay? And then we are going to give them a little trim. Okay. So, tell me about this person that you're meeting. Tell me all that you know. I'll just come in very gently and just trim around your eyebrows. Okay? So, personality, dislikes, likes, hopes, dreams, ambitions, the whole shebang. Oh, sweetheart, you gotta give me more than that. We're gonna be here for a little bit. There you go. Yeah, I'm a bit nosy, but I must confess I do have an ulterior motive. I find that if I kind of gauge how you're feeling about everything, that helps me do your makeup a little better. You know, call it a personal connection, call call it whatever you will. Empathy, anything of that sort. But also, I find that if I feel that maybe things are a bit lukewarm or a little sus, then I would like to be someone to just tell that other to just watch out and just to be careful. Yeah. Well, we've all been in pretty bad places where if someone would have just let us know of the red flags that we were not seeing because we were looking with rose-colored glasses, then I think a lot of people would be better off. So I'm going to tweeze a couple of those stray hairs, mostly at the tail, a little bit on the inside, okay? Promise it won't hurt. I'm very quick, okay? I'm just gonna come here and just tweeze, 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 tweeze. Okay, good. So, you were telling me about this person, yeah? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just gonna sharpen the edges here. I'm just gonna shave a bit. Okay. So, do you mind if I give a little bit of unsolicited advice here? I know we've only just met, but, well, and I also don't know what your dating track record is, but I like to talk, so I'm just going to tell you anyway, right? So I have found that I have saved myself a lot of trouble, and early on I figured out what my priorities were with finding somebody to spend time with. I find that I really would rather not waste any precious time with people that just don't vibe with me, right? And sometimes it's hard to figure out, firstly, if someone vibes, and then secondly, if they're a good person to vibe with. And okay, I'm gonna get started on your base, okay? While I'm chatting, we're gonna use a little primer here. So I have found that I've saved myself a lot of nature's chiming in too. She knows what's up. So I've found myself having a much easier time when I figure out what my priorities are in this person that I'm looking for, or just straight off the bat. And this can apply to friends, it can apply to significant others, it can even apply to people that honestly you're just DTF for. So I have found that just figuring out the kind of person that I would like to be around helps me determine right off the bat if I want to keep with somebody or move on. So, me personally, I think my highest priority is that I'm with somebody who makes me laugh. And that is really my biggest and only priority. Okay. So, I'm going to use a little bit of foundation here to just smooth you out, okay? Get you a little bit more even. Okay, and I'm just going to apply, and then I'm going to use a brush to smooth everything out. We've got a little foundation brush here. I'm just going to start at the bottom and work up, okay? So, my only priority is that I'm with somebody who makes me laugh, because that's my one thing that makes life worth living sometimes, is just humor. Wonder is another one of those, adventure. But most of all, someone who is humorous and can turn very bad situations into bearable ones. Now, I couldn't really care less about what someone looks like, because you could be with someone who is the most unattractive person in the world, but if their personality is good, even, excellent, then they look so much better to you than someone who is absolutely gorgeous but has an awful personality. And looks or whatever, right? I would rather be with somebody that makes me laugh and treats me well, rather than some eye candy that will only stay that way for a couple decades, maybe. Mind lifting up your chin a bit? Good. So, once you figure out what your priorities are, it makes things a little easier. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be with someone because of their looks necessarily. I mean, if that's your priority, it's your priority. But just go in knowing that there has to be a balance, and sometimes you find people that are good looking with a good personality, good sense of humor, but not every person has all good qualities, right? There's negativity in everyone, and you just have to make sure that you're okay with that. We're all beings of balance, and certain things are probably an absolute no in things you want to deal with someone, right? So just figuring out what your absolute worst pet peeves are and your greatest priority in someone, that can really help set the tone for a relationship, a friendship, and help you build a stronger one. So let's see, I'm going to get some concealer. We're just going to clean up some of the bits. But again, completely unsolicited advice, right? And you must do whatever you see fit. I'm going to tap, 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 tap. Okay, just tap that in with my finger. There we go. So that's my biggest advice to you, is just to figure out what your priorities are, because oftentimes within meeting someone for the first time or the first few times, you're able to tell if that person is going to work well with you for the time being, or if they're not. Okay, let's go ahead and just, I'm gonna line your eyes just a little bit, just to make them a little more pronounced, okay? So let's see, I think I'm gonna take a liner brush and some brown eyeshadow. Going to be more subtle. Okay, and I'm just going to gently press this into your lash line. Okay, do you mind closing your eyes for me? Thank you. There we go. Thank you for being so still with me. This makes a lot easier when I don't have someone squirming around. Not that I have many people squirming around. Okay. So where are you going on this date? Okay, that sounds great. And you have accounted for the thunderstorm outside, yes? Okay, smart deal. Alright, you can open your eyes, and I'm just going to do under your eyes just a little bit. Good. Thank you. There we go. Excellent. Okay, take a look at me. You are a gorgeous person, inside and out. Okay. All right. Maybe a little bit of bronzer, a little bit of contour. Just because the foundation shade is just a touch flat. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and use an angled brush here and a bronzer shade. Carve in your cheeks a bit. Okay. Forehead. Okay. Do you mind lifting your jaw a bit? Thank you. Now, I have a few different blush shades, and I would like you to choose between them. So I've got a deep color here, and this peachy color here, or this tint here. That's got some sparkle in it though. Okay, no on the sparkle. Oh, I've got one more. Okay. This tiny little one, which is right in between the peach and the darker blush. Okay, peach. We can do that. Right. I'm going to take this brush right here. And we're just going to pat that on and just blend it. Good. I promise this isn't too much. It seems like it is, but it will wear away a bit when you are traveling to your date, so I'm just ensuring that there will still be just a little bit of color on there. Okay, so how are we feeling about mascara? Do you want any just to lengthen your eyelashes a bit? Okay. Alright, let's go with something that's not extreme. Alright, I think this one, because it'll just curl your lashes a little bit, okay? So I want you to keep your lashes open for me, your eyes rather. Okay, just going to apply that just a little bit, nothing crazy. And while it's drying, we can decide on what we want to do with your lips. So I have a few nude colors, unless you wanted to go with something a little more pink, a little more red, a little more coral. Any takers? Okay, let's look at the nudes then. Okay, so I've got that. So none of these have any shimmer in them, so they shouldn't be too obvious. We have a matte lip color, so it's going to be a very, very nude color. It's almost not going to look like really anything on your lips. We have this color, which is going to stay on for a long time. It says it's up to 16 hours. I've fallen asleep in this after doing illicit activities, and it was still there the next morning, so I can tell you, whatever you're going to do tonight, it'll still be on. And lastly, if you just want a little bit of gloss, this looks like it has a lot more color than it really does. There's not too much to it. So, any takers on those? Okay, that's what I would have picked too. You never know what happens. It's always good to be prepared. Okay, so going to take this, and I want you to purse your lips slightly, keep them slightly open, okay? Alright. And do you want me to overline at all? Okay. I wouldn't want to either. You have the perfect shape of lips. So we'll just wait a moment, and then I'll put on the gloss that locks it. The gloss wears off fairly quickly, so then it looks more matte. Okay, should be long enough. gonna put those back. Very good. So, is there anything else about your look that you want more to? Anything we need to touch up at all? Okay. Doing pretty okay? Alright, so how do you feel? A little bit more prepared? Okay, that's excellent to hear. So, I think, my darling, you are all good to go. You look gorgeous, glamorous, handsome AF. I think you're gonna do well. Yes. Well, if you're anything like you are with me right now, they will be very, very lucky to have you. Just be yourself. You gotta remember, if you try to be someone else, then you're going to have to put on that persona every single time you see this person. So, if you're just yourself, then there's nobody to pretend to be. Okay? Alright. Well, sweetheart, you look excellent, and I hope you have an umbrella. It's still raining. Good. Wouldn't want you to melt my handiwork. Speaking of, we should probably set your makeup, huh? You just got me so worked up chatting with you. I'm gonna take this fluffy brush, pat it in, and then we're just going to pat on your makeup just to set it. Can't believe you almost let me forget. That's okay. All right. Just going to swipe off the excess. Okay. Now, you are good to go. I hope you enjoy your date. I hope you have a whale of a day and a good rest of your night. Thank you.